Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain. With me, my co-host, perpetually and always, is the numbest of skulls, Mr. Numbskull.
Hey, guys.
And welcome to, I can't even believe I'm saying this, episode 25 of the Black Council. Can you even believe that?
That's pretty sweet. I kind of lose track every time, but I guess it sounds about right.
Yeah, I can't even. That's pretty impressive. I have to figure out when our 1 year anniversary is. I think it's in the fall, but I think we've been going for about 6 months already.
I think we're like 6 months in.
Yeah. Well, it sure has been a good time. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it's been great. And today, we were going to talk about a couple of different things. We had just saw today the live stream Magic announced Lord of the Rings stuff, which is the new set. And I know we are an arena focused show, but I believe the set is still coming to arena. It's coming to Alchemy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, so it's coming as like the Alchemy, like the way they did Alchemy Baldur's Gate was like a mini set kind of shoved in there in between. So I don't think it's going to be standard legal. However, we are both big fans of Alchemy. As a matter of fact, we did 2 weeks of Alchemy builds. And the mono black deck was very popular. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. You also, speaking of mono black, we have bonus footage up for our patrons and for everyone else of Numbskull playing the mono black deck. He modified it, he refined it, and he put up a bunch of patron only footage. I uploaded on my channel. You can only get it if you're a patron and see his final upgraded version. I'm probably going to record some of mine because I've been running it as well, and it's been ranking pretty good in Diamond for me. But that will be a Patreon reward. Along with all the other Patreon rewards. What do we get as a Patreon rewards? Well, you get access to our exclusive Discord. You get to influence what suggest things that we're going to do on the channel, early access to videos, all kinds of stuff. If you become a patron and support the Black Council, you become a full council member. We are at 18 members right now. Once we get to 20, we are going to be running the Black Council tournament. We haven't quite decided what it is yet. We haven't decided the rules, but once we get to 20 patrons, we're in there. We're doing the tournament, and we're super excited about that. So if you want to join that, it's right there on the screen, patreon.com/the Black Council. You'll get your rewards. You'll get access to exclusive videos, exclusive Patreon, access to the invitational tournament when it happens, all that good stuff. And I want to thank our patrons. This time we have some new people. We want to welcome them. I don't know if I should just say this guy's whole name, but it's Mr. Taylor. Welcome. He's our brand new patron. Szechuan Anon, The Clash, Lars Van Breem, Xylo Beast, Jamel, Stumfa, Trexodactyl, Magic Studios, Lord Gypticus, The Flipticus, Mamulian, Ghastly, Cassius, Nickel Nuts, H-Man, War Minds, Greg the Alien, Wooter, Lodeman, Oofveer, Comeback Scumbag, Dante Valentine, Randall, Zavritz, Clever Sounds, The Blood Chief, and Paradabo. Thank you all for joining. We have a few people that were in the council and left and came back and left and came back. We'd love to have you back. We'd love to have you. Like I said, once we get to 20 permanent patrons, we're going to be running the tournament, the invitation only tournament. We're going to be also inviting any creators who have been up previously on the show. So that would include any who was it? We had
Max Damage and
Luna Nix on the show. Yeah. We're going to be trying to invite them on and see what we have going on. So yeah, we're going to try to get some stuff together there, and you can join for as little as $1 a month.
Yep.
$1 an episode, $1 a month, very cheap. And you get all that.
Yeah, whatever you prefer. whatever's easier for you. We want to make it. I think it's as little as Patreon lets us do it for. I think it's like the smallest amount is $1 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the absolute lowest amount, but we'd love to get your support through Patreon. So anyways, now that we have all that business out of the way, let's see what we have here. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, let's do our regular check-in real quick here. Actually, can you hold on 1 second? I'm having might be having a technical issue. Hold on. I'm going to cut the recording because I'm not sure. Something might not be working, and I want to double check. Hold on. All right. I think we fixed our technical issue. All right. So, yeah, today we were going to talk about Lord of the Rings, which just premiered today. What is it called? Middle-earth Battle for Middle? No, I can't remember what the hell it's called, actually. Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. That's what it's called.
Tales of. Yep.
Okay. So a lot of stuff is coming out about this. A lot of people are feeling a certain way about it. It's going to be in the game. I'm sure we're going to end up using some of the cards. I'm sure we're going to end up seeing it. It's actually coming out after March of the Machines. It's not coming out for a while. This was kind of the first look. But I still wanted to talk about a lot of the controversies and things and how people are feeling about it right now, because I think it's worth delving into. First things first. As always, what's your mythic number?
987.
987. Okay. I thought it was just 9.
I wish, man. I wish. We got to like 800s on stream last night, and then I wanted to play some Explorer.
Oh, what have you been doing in Explorer?
Just playing like the Rakdos mid-range deck. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. And I'm doing it because I'm trying to work towards like playing Pioneer. So Explorer is the closest thing to practice for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I have I went to my LGS last night. I actually got some Pioneer cards.
Okay, so you're actually going to start playing Paper Pioneer?
I'm going to try to, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to try to start playing some Paper Commander. I have my Necrons deck. Innistrad, speaking of which, I still have my Pioneer Innistrad deck, which is Vampires, Madness Vampires. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll actually get a paper a spell table game going or something. I don't know. Something.
I have to figure out how to set that up still. But yeah,
I do too. Yeah.
I guess I need like another camera or something, or multiple cameras. So we'll figure that out.
I found believe it or not, I found a spare camera for $3 at some junk store, and it actually worked. So I'm gonna start using that as my spell table camera. But
nice.
I'm gonna try to work that out because I do get the paper itch every now and Arena is nice, but I do get the paper itch every now and again. And there are certain things that aren't available. Especially my beautiful Necron boys aren't available, so which I love. So yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll do some paper stuff. Maybe we'll expand the Black Council into paper. All right. Well, the other announcement that I wanted to say, we got the merch. We got Ultra merch.
Oh yeah.
We have sick drip going on here. We have champion jackets, pack jackets. We have hoodies, beanies, ball caps, snapbacks, whatever you want, for Black Council. And I still haven't tried to I'm trying to figure out a way to link the Patreon and the merch store. I sent out some stuff. I don't know if it's possible, but we may have to, I don't know. We might have to move merch stores if we want to do that full time. I'll have to double check, but either way, if you want to show your support, that's a great way. I'm going to put up some pictures right now of the merch, and here a couple pictures of our current Black Council members wearing the merch. And I left it kind of generic enough that nobody really knows what it is, so it's just something you can wear. It doesn't have say like magic cards on it or something crazy like that, where it's obvious what you're. What was that?
I think when I looked at it, I think we have to tie it to like a Twitch account, and the subscribers on Twitch get the discount.
Yeah, I saw that. I know we have the
Mhm.
Twitch subscribers, but I
Mhm.
think there should be Patreon has a way that you can insert it as Patreon rewards if you link it, but I don't know if that particular type of store allows you to do that. That's the problem. I
Okay.
know that some other like Shopify maybe lets you do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if Twitch specifically, I mean, if Stream Elements, which is what we're using for that, lets you do that. So yeah, we do have great merch, which we love you. We got to figure out how to way to get ourselves some card backs or something like that, some Black Council sleeves or something. We'll figure that out. Anyways,
that I do know how to do.
Okay, so maybe that is something that we can look at in the future. Whatever you guys want, like we said, it is a round table. Whatever you guys want to see, whatever you guys like, we can figure it out for you. So, enough dilly-dallying, enough stalling, enough putzing around, as it were. Let's talk about Lord of the Rings. We don't have that many. We don't have that many cards yet. But what is your first impression? Because there's a lot of people's first impressions are going off right now, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things. And I'd like to hear what what your take on what we've seen so far.
Yeah. The cards look okay. They don't look obviously very powerful.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's a card that is in here that we never saw this one as a character in Lord of the Rings too, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's noteworthy. I also thought that the card that is supposed to represent Gandalf doesn't align with being Gandalf.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought Gandalf should have been Azorius, personally.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, it's there's cool stuff, but yeah, it doesn't seem as crazy as Baldur's Gate did, though. You know?
No, and I think that's one of the first notable things, and I think that the question I have is they obviously released these cards on purpose. They're named, they're popular ones. But that's the number one thing that I've seen is like, who is this for? Because the power level isn't there, especially when you're talking about putting this in like Pioneer or or Modern, or
I can't remember if it goes to Modern or not, but I don't think it goes to Pioneer.
Oh, it doesn't go to Pioneer. Modern, Legacy.
I think it would go in Legacy for sure.
Yeah,
obviously Commander, obviously,
yeah. So the question is, like, when you talk about these power levels where, okay, well, I want to have a Sauron deck. You look right here, like Sauron the Lidless Eye. So it's a 1 red, 1 black, 3. It's a Rakdos, which makes sense thematically. 4/4. When Sauron the Lidless Eye enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature an opponent controls until the end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste. Then, of course, creatures you control get +2 until the end of turn. Each opponent loses 2 life. So a kind of a drain effect, a boost effect. He's an avatar horror, which we're actually seeing quite a few avatars in this, which is interesting.
That's true.
The Lord of the Rings series kind of has that Maiar. They're like super powerful spirits. I guess the best way to translate them into Magic the Gathering would be calling them Avatar, because they're like kind of like demigods,
That's true, yeah.
So here we actually we see Sauron artistically as a person, which is a little bit strange. I'm something of a Lord of the Rings aficionado, the books and the movies. And we see his fingers cut off his hand where he lost his ring. I think he was described as being a formless shape for just kind of a malevolence as opposed to an actual dude. So kind of surprising to see him in an actual depicted as art, like just a dude in armor. And again, he's a 5-drop 4/4 who gives you basically a treachery effect. I mean, this is like the big bad of all of them, and you figure he would like, you know, he'd be really bringing the heat. I don't know. It just doesn't. You're not like, whoa, you know what I mean? You're like, whoa, that's wow, Sauron. Wow, he does some crazy stuff. He kind of feels like a forgettable type of card, at least to me.
And then also there's in regards to alchemy and the cards that we have in available to us, there's Will, and Will does like the same thing for the same amount of mana, but then he has a specialized effect. I'm not sure what it is in paper, but he has the effect where you get to you can take extra turns with Will. Whereas the ability on Sauron is just incredibly underwhelming. So yeah, I was. The art's cool, I guess. Just not the greatest thing. That, like you said, treachery effect on a 4/4 for 5. It's a mythic. It's kind of forgettable given what we have already.
What 5-drop are you swapping out in Rakdos to put this in?
Well, that's why I said Will literally is a 5-drop with the same stats but better abilities. So, and usually most decks only play like 1 or 2 Wills anyway. So you're not going to swap Will for this. It's a worse Will, literally. So I don't see this getting played, unless there's a way to if Sauron and someone else are out at the same time, and you do something like that.
Unless we're
or
missing
if Sauron
here.
Gets the ring or something like that. And something happens. I don't think that there's anything special about this card. Given the information that we have, there's nothing special about this card.
And it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything like that. Maybe possession of the ring, or because there is a thing called the ring tempts you. That's like a new mechanic. And
I have seen that.
So I figured that there would be something to the effect of, every time the ring tempts somebody, Sauron gets +2/+2. You would figure that there is some sort of ring based. Like if you have him and the one ring out on the board, nothing spectacular happens. Like he's just he already got his enter the battlefield effect, and he just has attacking power basically. So again, I think everyone's kind of idea was a little bit underwhelming, and also people were a little confused as to why the colors. We talked about Gandalf. You want to read Gandalf off just to go over it, and we can kind of.
Well, do you want to go in order?
Oh, sure, we can go in order. Yeah,
let's go in order. The next one's Aragorn, however you normally say it. Is that one of the ones you were talking about where they change the race on the card?
It is race swap, which also a lot of people on the internet, of course, are mad about. Because people on the internet are always mad. I personally don't care. It's a fantasy story. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think more than anything, people kind of expected to see Viggo Mortensen there because it's hard to kind of beat him.
Of course.
So it's like if they made a Back to the Future set and Doc Brown looked completely different than Christopher Lloyd. He's just has such an iconic look, of what you imagine when you hear Aragorn, that it's hard to kind of change that. But people are mad about it. I mean, there is lore in the books that, they said they're this, there's Northmen, Southmen, and whatever. And, but I don't know. I don't think it's anything worth getting that freaking upset about, as people are like, we're going to boycott. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I think seeing him as a certain race or color in a movie doesn't officially set it for how it's always supposed to be depicted going forward. You know what I mean? Because like you said, there were books first, and the books didn't straight up say Aragorn is a white male. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They don't flat out say that. So it's like, well, he was depicted as a white male in a movie. But the movie isn't even the original story. So you can't really go
Yeah.
off the movie. I mean, that sure, it's fine to be depicted that way,
Yeah.
but you can't just sit here and say that he can only be a white male for the rest of the time.
No,
You know?
and I don't think it's. I just don't think it's. It's nothing. Yeah, I don't think it's anything that is. Where, like I said, it's not. Everyone said, well, Tolkien was British and this was based on English and Norse history. Okay,
Sure.
yeah, it is based on English and Norse history and stuff like that, and mythology. But there's also a Balrog in it, and those aren't a real thing. So
Oh well, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here that like never actually existed.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
So,
and I know Wizards had actually mentioned that there would be a character who they literally said there's going to be a character who's normally white in the story, and we're going to make them black. They literally said that.
Yeah.
They said that like a couple months ago. That was actually like one of their prequel like spoilers about all of this was, hey, we're gonna like switch up the race of some characters. And I know Wizards was catching flack. I guess people were saying they haven't represented a lot of minorities, and they haven't had a lot of like there's like a lot of cisgender or like almost everybody's heterosexual in the story, and there's like no non-binary people. So I don't know. I guess they're trying to like maybe start to switch it up a little bit and be a little more inclusive. You know what I mean? In regards to traditional sexual orientation and gender and race and things like that. So that's a thing too, and I think that maybe they're trying to be inclusive in that regard. So this is a chance to kind of maybe delve into that. But yeah, it's also, let's not forget it. Arwen is included here. Looks like it's also one of those kind of like double up cards, like how they're doing in March of Machines.
Exactly.
They have like two.
It is a bit of a March of the Machine type thing.
Yeah. So I mean, 3/6 vigilance for 6. That doesn't feel great to begin with. It is legendary. It's human elf noble.
And again, we haven't entered the battlefield effect, which is the weakest kind of effect, in my opinion.
Well, I guess it just depends what the ETB is, but yeah, it doesn't seem. I mean, in Commander, it could be good in like a go wide thing. ETB or attacks. Thankfully, it's ETB or attacks, not just ETB.
Yeah.
+1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and then you get a life for each other. It just doesn't like you can't really make that your commander. It's 6 mana.
Yeah.
So that's probably out of the question. It just feels like there's probably better 6 drops. So.
Yeah, I mean, for Selesnya tokens, I feel like it's useful, but again, you could just put King Darian and Queen Landriel and split them up basically. Now we may see an Arwen and an Aragon separate, because this is Aragon and Arwen wed, so we might see Aragon, Ranger of the North, and Arwen, daughter of Elendil or something like that, daughter of Elrond or something like that. So we may see them separate with different colors and powers. Yeah, she's probably green and he's probably white. So together, they came together as Selesnya.
That makes sense.
So we'll have to see there. But again, nothing that you're like, whoa, wow, what a crazy, whoa, I got to get this,
Yeah. I'm not immediately drawn to this.
Yeah. Here we actually have, these are reprints just redone in the in Lord of the Rings style. Yeah, renamed and redone, but the mechanics are the same. So Lorien Brooch is his Trailblazer's boots. Each creature has a non-basic land walk, which is gonna be really, I think out of all the reprints,
equipped creature.
Yeah, equipped creature has non-basic land walk. So you put Lorien Brooch on there. Landwalk, by the way, for those of you who are young baby Magic players, means that if you control a land of that type, this creature can't be blocked.
Yep.
So if you control non-basic lands, whoever has Lorien Brooch on can't be blocked. Which
that's bound to happen in Commander. Just right now, everybody's they're coming up with different ways to punish you for running non-basics. I mean, you don't even run a mono-color deck without non-basics.
No, you don't. Yeah, there's people run non-basics all the time.
Yeah,
it's a rare day you still run basics.
Yeah, so that could be good. You do like a equipment commander deck, but I guess Trailblazer's Boots is also already a card.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably already a thing. But yeah, the next one we have Valley of Gargaroth, which is Wasteland, which is just a land destruction land, if you will. I think that goes really far back, doesn't it, Jay? Wasteland.
Wasteland goes to the Eldrazi set. Yeah.
Okay.
The original Eldrazi set.
That's like some OG land destruction, though.
Yeah, that's some land destroying lands. That's pretty old. Land destruction.
Art's
of course,
pretty cool too.
The art is very good. Valley of Gorgoroth is the north part of Mordor. I'm revealing myself to be a huge Lord of the Rings nerd here, by the way.
Well, I'm glad one of us knows.
Yeah. Oh no, I am.
I've forgotten everything. It's been so.
Oh,
long
I read the
since
books.
movies.
I got all kind of supplemental stuff.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of it.
Okay.
And of course, here we have the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, where Gandalf famously fought the Balrog. That's the you cannot pass bridge. So creatures with power greater than the number of cards in your hand can't attack. So interesting, but again, that's a reprint. Party Tree is. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off there. That's just a reprint too.
You're good. Party Tree is Great Henge, which is interesting because Great Henge is a very valuable card. That's like a $40 card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes the value of the original Great Henges go down. I know I had a Great Henge and sold it because I don't really play green, so I just sold it and bought more black cards, and but yeah, so Great Henge is awesome. Some of you may have gotten trolled by it in Pioneer. It just, the greatest power, you can cast it for as low as 2 mana. You can tap it to add mana and gain life. And then you basically get to buff your non-token creatures as they enter with giving them a counter, and you draw a card when they come in.
Yeah.
So very valuable artifact that's used in like especially in Pioneer mono green Stompy.
Oh yeah.
Very, very valuable, very heavily used. So it's cool that they did like Lord of the Rings art for it. I think the art looks awesome. It looks pretty.
The art
cool.
looks great and it's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's fits in. But I'm noticing a trend. All the ones that we kind of like and think are cool are reprints.
Yeah, they haven't really done anything revolutionary here yet, have they? Other than good art so far. So I mean, I think I did see a couple. I think we have some lands coming up that actually are interesting to me.
And so now we talk about the premium cards here. This is Sol Ring. This is written in I think this is written in Elvish. I believe this is Elvish. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I what is the name of it?
That's probably going to have some value in paper.
Quenya. I think it's Quenya.
Quenya. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Elvish language. And it's holographic. It's numbered 1 out of 300. And this is just a soul ring. This is just a super powerful soul ring. So you knew we were going to have rings in Lord of the Rings set.
Sure.
That was going to happen. So soul ring is reprinted.
Soul ring.
Yeah, soul ring is a staple, and it gets reprinted a lot. So now we have kind of valuable soul rings here printed in Quenya, which is interesting.
That's pretty cool.
I'll let you do Radagast. Here's a new guy.
Radagast. So was he in Lord of the Rings?
Radagast is in the books and in some of the more things. He was in The Hobbit. Okay. We saw him in the movie The Hobbit, but not in the original trilogy movies.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Radagast, Wizard of Wilds. He is legendary Avatar Wizard. He is a Simic creature.
Gross.
Jay's favorite kind. He himself has Ward 1. Now it's a 3/5 for 4. That's not bad. Beasts and birds you control have Ward 1. Don't know how many beasts and bird decks there are, but we'll find out. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, choose one. Make a 3/3 beast or make a 2/2 bird with flying. It's not the craziest thing. It is a good bit of text. There's a good bit of abilities, but it doesn't seem. I see this card being worth 17 cents.
Brutal. Yeah, I mean I could see this in a Simic rampy. Obviously beats and birds, maybe that'll help if you have Birds of Paradise out or something like that and you want it to have ward so it doesn't get immediately lightning bolt. but damn, I don't know how much we're gonna have. Again, failing to impress here. I don't know. We'll have to see. Wait and see. We have here Samwise Gamg, Sam's loyal attendant with his
Sam's here.
Yeah, with his trusty frying pan, 1 white and 1 green, 1 Celestia halfling peasant, partner with Frodo, adventurous hobbit. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Frodo into their hand from their library. So he basically seeks and summons Frodo from your library into your hand.
That's pretty cool.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a food token. It is an artifact with sacrifice to gain 3 life. Activated abilities of foods you control cost 1 life to activate. So a food-focused Celestia guy. I actually really like that.
That's actually not terrible.
For life gain, especially if you're going to do something like life gain clerics or, you're trying to build. That just creates a lot of food. You got to figure if you put it with something like Mondrak, you're going to get double the amount of food tokens. Queen, what's her name? Queen Elendriel, the new queen we just got out of Dominaria. Whenever you create a token, you get one of her. You get a 1/1 soldier too. So there's like a few effects you could stack this with and gain life on. Honestly, it's the first card that I'm like, I could see me making a deck with it. The fact that he grabs Frodo is kind of a bonus, but the food abilities 2/4 for 3 is not too bad.
Yeah, that's the first one where we kind of see some potential here. So that's something. We got Tom Bombadil.
Yes.
Was he in the books?
He is. Okay, so we're going to get into a little bit of Lord of the Rings lore here to explain this nonsense. Okay. Tom Bombadil is a very controversial part of the books. It makes 0 sense, and Tolkien never explained it. He is a ultra powerful OP character that shows up for no reason and then leaves for no reason, is never mentioned again.
Okay.
Well, he is mentioned again, but the kids meet him, he sings, and anytime he sings, he can basically just control the world. He just is like, they get kidnapped by evil trees, and he's like, trees, let him go. And they're like, okay, we're sorry. And he lives, and he is, they say, older than the hills and the rivers, and he's some sort of god. And he is completely immune to the ring. He actually is like, oh, that's a cool ring you have. Can I see it? And takes it from Frodo and just looks at it, puts it on. It doesn't affect him. And he's like, here you go. I don't want this. This is stupid. And gives it back. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's completely immune to the ring. None of this is ever explained. Who he is, what powers he has, what exactly he's doing. So some people love him and think he's fantastic and an awesome character, and some people are like, this is just ridiculous and was unnecessary. So bit of a divisive Tolkien issue. It's interesting that they added him in there. He's probably some sort of Maiar leftover god or something like that.
Because I saw people complaining on Twitter that he wasn't in the movies, so he shouldn't be in the thing. And that's why I wanted to ask you. I knew he wasn't in the movies based on that, but was he in the books? So I'm glad
he's in the books. Yeah, he's in the books, and they actually he wrote another story, The Adventures of Tom Bombadil, where he just goes around doing stuff. But he's just like this happy-go-lucky guy who just sings, and whatever he sings just comes to life. So, and he just lives in a little house, and
he's just on his own, just doing stuff.
He's literally like vibes. Like, that's his whole thing, is just like, I'm just good vibes, man.
Just good vibes. Okay. And then they do depict him as a god in this one. And it's, every one of each color, and he's a legendary. He's a 4/4. When there are 3, or as long as there are 3 or 4 more lore counters among sagas you control, he has hexproof and indestructible. Whenever the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a saga card. Put that card onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. So you're just like constantly recycling sagas. And if you're already playing 5 mana, I could see you just playing like Kami War.
Basically, with the amount of
just find a Kami War every time one gets to 3. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like combining him and multicolor, and combining him with the unifier, what's that guy? Joriel, what's his name?
Joda
the unifier. Kami War.
Yeah, he is kind of like Joda. He's like Joda for enchantments.
Basically, I mean, you could, of
Yeah.
course, you're going to have to throw in Kiki Jiki in there. You're going to have to throw in all the high level sagas, because we currently have a lot of powerful sagas.
And I guess that makes him a hell of a commander, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that he's probably going to see play.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to be like Joda. He's got to be crazy useful. So that's interesting. I'm glad they did Tom Bombadil justice. Look at this next card. What?
It's official, guys. We have white counter spells.
Divide by 0 white, but 1 less and draw a card.
We did it, guys. The color pie has officially spun. We have white counterspell. Azorius players absolutely just creaming their pants. 1 white, 1 instant, return target spell to its owner's hand. And people are saying, Jay, that's not a counterspell. Yes, it is. That's exactly it. It's a counterspell that makes it not go in the graveyard, or makes it go back into your hand. Because that's any spell. So if you cast an enchantment, you cast a creature as an interrupt, as it's called, as it used to be called, as my brain, my old time Magic the Gathering, it's going to go on the stack and just push it right back into your hand, and you're going to draw a card for only 2 mana. Azorius, invest in Azorius stocks right now. My goodness.
Stonks, man.
Divide by 0 was banned, and then they said, well, what if we made it more powerful and off color?
And less mana.
Yeah. Let's make it guarantee the card draw. Let's make it cheaper, and then also let's put it out of the color pie.
Just feels like this didn't need to be a thing.
That's
kind of
that's fairly accurate. Yeah.
Just feels like you could have done something else with a white card. Like you could have given it like a nice removal spell, or indestructible, or I don't know. We didn't need this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the next one, you cannot pass. This is where you're talking about on the bridge.
Yeah, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm versus the Balrog.
And then that's Gandalf, and it's a white card, which is, well, we're gonna get to Gandalf in a second. So then, why is Gandalf? Is it? No sense.
There's a little bit of sense in it, but I think there's a reason, but we'll get to that.
So now this is good removal.
Yeah.
Instant speed, 1 white mana, destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked by a legendary creature this turn. That's good.
That's pretty good, especially at an uncommon level. Just removal, white removal. Again, white getting bangers. What's going on there?
Yeah, because can't you, after blockers are declared, wouldn't you be able to cast it? Because technically it blocked, it was declared as a blocker.
We haven't got to the damage phase left. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can deal this before damage. Oh, you declare your huge creature as a blocker when I swung in and you think I made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake. 1 mana, it's gone.
Yeah, you can't pass.
Pretty good. It's a particular situation, but you can really set somebody up with a crazy bluff on that for very cheap and instant speed, you know?
Yeah.
And it's an uncommon. So that's a powerful uncommon card that, you know, might not cost you too much money if you have to grab it.
Unless somebody casts Reprieve and pushes it back into your hand.
Well, thankfully you only spent 1 mana, so maybe you have another one, you know? Or maybe you have your own Reprieve because you're running white. They're just going to have Reprieve.
Yeah, just Reprieve and then duplicate.
Yeah, they're going to circle jerk the Reprieve, so that'll be...
Oh, yeah, you know it.
Here's an interesting guy.
He sure is. He's a funny guy. Golem, Patient Plotter, in black, which he should be. Maybe we'll see a Smeagol one, because he does he's split between 2 people, Smeagol and Golem. We may see
when he's like fully tempted or something, or when he's possessed by the ring or whatever it's called.
Yeah, he's a halfling horror, which is an interesting way of describing him. 1 black and 1, 3/1. When Golem Patient Plotter leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. We don't know exactly what that does yet, although it does make you lose the game occasionally. 1 black, sacrifice a creature, return Golem from your graveyard to your hand, activate as a sorcery, so he just keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see a different version of him as Smeagol. I don't know, Orzov Smeagol or something. Maybe
That'd be cool. And I guess tempting is like, I think it's what if you get tempted a certain amount of times you lose? Is that?
Yeah, there's some cards
works,
that say that. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next one, and this is where I was talking about. There's going to be some lands that I think are going to be of value. Mount Doom, pretty cool in Commander. So by nature, it's a pain land, and it doesn't tap for colorless mana. Notably, it is a legendary.
It always
land.
pains you. Yeah.
There in Mountain Doom, there is nothing but pain.
Yeah.
So you can pay 3 and tap that to deal 1 damage to each opponent. Not really that great, but maybe you do it in a commander game and somebody's at 1 life and you take out
I mean,
if
you're basically just have leftover mana, it's something to just burn people with.
Yeah, just like a residual kind of thing. But then the bottom one is what piqued my interest. It's a 7 mana. And I get it, it's 7 mana, but it's a land that's a board wipe. 7 mana, tap it, sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Okay, so you got to have an artifact that's of value as well.
Yeah.
Which I guess I believe the One Ring is going to be a legendary artifact as well. Which it doesn't have to be that, but just I think that's the idea. Yeah. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It has like a panic button or a
late game bomb, a late game clear.
Yeah, so you can just keep 2 of your creatures, you keep your commander and something else out in the commander game. That's not bad. And then it gives Rakdos better board wipe options other than just like burn down the house. So
exactly.
That's noteworthy.
Yeah.
You just gotta see where you can. I think legendary artifact. Maybe you have like what's the one that melds with Mishra?
You could leave both of them. The Phyrexian Dragon Engine.
Yeah, so you have the Dragon. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's not legendary. No,
it's not legendary. No.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'd have to maybe explore like what cheap artifacts are worth it to, you know what I mean? We have to look into that. But yeah. So there's some cool lands. I think I like what they're doing with the settings with these lands.
The Shire is, of course, as we know, very popular. It's green, which I would imagine it's a little Selesnya as well. I always kind of I could see it being white as well, but I guess it's not really a plains. It's hilly and green. Enters the battlefield unless you control a legendary creature. Add green. Tap an untapped creature you control to create a food token.
Yeah, so that's playing off of Sam.
Not bad. Yeah.
That's fine.
Hobbits love food. That's their thing. They love to eat.
That is true. That is actually very true. Yeah. And then we have an actual Samwise. So this is like the more powerful.
This is and that's why I think there's like multiple versions. There's going to be multiple versions of famous cards
of some of these. Okay, that's where you said like have an Aragorn by himself or something.
Yeah.
And isn't the Samwise that we mentioned? It grabs Frodo Adventurous Hobbit.
Yeah.
Notably, is not Frodo Sauron's Bane. So that immediately tells you that there's going to be another Frodo as well.
Yeah, there is.
So we have 2 Frodo and 2 Samwise so far.
Exactly.
With the information given. That's okay. That's good to know.
That's why I'm positive we're gonna have multiple. We're probably gonna have beginning of the plot card and end of the plot card. So this is where Sam ended up, and that's where he started. So. And it makes their like different arcs basically. Basically, yeah. So Sauron's Bane is like his arc when he's possessed by the ring, and Samwise Samwise the Stout-Hearted is like when he like grows a pair and like he fights Shelob and the orcs and okay, that makes sense. So I do at least remember that much. That's kind of cool how they did that. I do like how they're playing it that way. I think that's great. So 2 mana, 2/1. He is legendary. He's a halfling peasant. Has flash as well. ETB, choose up the 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that's put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand. Then the ring tempts you. Okay. Okay. So that's it has its kind of. I like the I like how they're aligning it with typical Lord of the Rings. Like you get this great power, but you have something that you're gonna get tempted by the ring afterwards.
Yeah, you have something that happens to you that might damage your integrity or your, you know what I mean, or your clean sheet, if you will, as a character or like as a being, you know. So that's I think that's cool. I mean, you had 2 mana 2/1 flash. I also like the flavor text. You hurt my master, you brute, and
I'll
pay for it.
Yeah, that was him to
I like
Shelob.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So okay, and then I like that they put him in that one and the other Frodo back to back too.
Yeah, and here is Frodo, Sauron's Bane. This is the advanced Frodo, the end of the story Frodo. 1 white, 1/2. He is an Azorius creature. You can either pay flexible right here. Frodo is Orzhov. Sorry, not Azorius. Orzhov. You can pay black or white. As a citizen, he becomes a halfling scout with base power and toughness at 2/3 and his lifelink. Then, of course, 3 black. If he's a scout, he becomes a halfling rogue. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game if the ring has tempted you 4 or more times. Otherwise, the ring tempts you. So there we have some lose the game temptation right there.
Okay, so that's a powerful 1-drop.
Yeah. And
okay, so there are powerful cards. That's good.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And you say, well, he's got to do damage. Well, that's why we have the Leaves of Lorien. That if they have basically non-basic land walk, so he can basically hit you.
Yeah.
If he had the Leaves of Lorien on.
And what is the one security bypass? If it's attacking alone, can't be blocked.
Exactly. So there are ways to get that off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how complicated it is.
2/3 lifelink.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's not bad, especially for a 1-drop. It's kind of like a miniature, like a small version of that. What's that guy? Like a small white version of the Evolve Sleeper.
Oh, the Sleeper. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of like like the Lord of the Rings version of that kind of. Yeah. So then we have Gandalf,
the controversial Gandalf.
Controversial Gandalf, Avatar Wizard, 5 mana 3/4. So not great stats. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. It doesn't say this turn, just hasn't been chosen. And you'll see why when we get to the last one. You may tap or untap target permanent, deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. It's not bad, but once again, he was 5 mana, so it's already kind of late.
Yeah.
Or you put him on the top of its owner's library. So yeah, it's having him have to go back on the top of the library and cast him again, I personally don't love that.
I guess if you're he's not great, and that's what I think people. So first let me say, first let me take a drink. This is Gandalf the Grey. We're gonna get a Gandalf the White because he does come back. He dies and comes back and becomes Gandalf the White, which is when I imagine he's going to become the expected Azorius because his name is white in there. So if he doesn't have white in his color, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So he's either going to be
that might be why. Yeah,
he's either going to be Boros or Azorius. I would imagine Azorius. Blue is his wizard nature, and in the lore, Gandalf says, I know he doesn't do it much in the movies and frankly in the books, that his mastery is over fire and light. That's what his specialty is. He actually holds one of the 3 rings of the elves. He has the ring of fire. So he does have some fire magic that he does, even though we don't see it very much. Well, he does say it when he fights the Balrog. He says, I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the sacred flame of Anor. There's some lore for you in case you haven't realized I'm a giant nerd yet. So I understand the blue is his wizardness and the red is his fireness. Still, man, I think what's killing me here is the price, man. I feel like this should be like a 3-drop.
If he was 3 or 4, I think it would be like doable. If he was 3 or 4, he'd be like, you could make him a commander because you could stop him, like the instant speed thing. You could put him on top of your deck, and then you wouldn't have to pay the extra cost to recast them again as your commander because he's right on top. You would like to put him on the top of your deck rather than in the command zone and have him cost more. So I think that makes it a little bit better. Actually, I don't even know if he would go to the command zone. Is it leaves the battlefield period he goes to the command zone, or I'm not sure how
Yeah,
it
if
works.
he's exiled, destroyed, whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
exiled to put in the
So
graveyard. I think command zone.
okay, so I guess putting on top of your library doesn't give you the option to put him in the command zone, but that's still better than him dying. So like if someone goes to kill him and you've chosen everything, or you can just choose. He kind of like protects himself, I guess. You could just choose that whenever
Yeah,
you want. So if he's gonna
yeah,
die or be exiled, if you have an instant or sorcery,
yeah.
then you can just, I mean, it probably have to
You
be an
can
instant.
evade.
But if you have,
Yeah.
yeah, any instant, it doesn't have to be one that grants protection in general, just any instant. So that's noteworthy. But
So I guess the idea here was to give him a whole suite of utility because Gandalf is kind of a
mhm,
do-it-all. He has a kind of a
yeah,
solution for every problem. So, you know,
mhm,
uh, it's still it's that price, man. Mm.
yeah, yeah. I think if he was 4, it's like super playable if he's 4. And
Hmm.
some of these cards, because if I'm not mistaken, in paper, the Baldur's Gate set, certain ones actually costed more in paper to cast. Tasha
Hmm.
was 5 mana in
Yeah.
paper, and on Arena she's 4 mana. So this
Hmm.
could be maybe
Yeah.
another one of those situations, but then you'll
Well,
have a
it could
caveat of
be. Yeah.
maybe they lower his toughness or something, or something like that.
Yeah, if they
Not sure.
alchemyize it, they could. Yeah, if they change it around, they could modify stuff for the alchemy version because they changed the name of stuff. They modified stuff a little bit and
Mhm.
brought it in the game, essentially the same, but just a little tweaked for alchemy. So we'll have to see how it hits
Yeah.
arena.
Yeah, because I guess as of right
But here
now,
we
these
go.
are the paper versions, aren't they?
These are the paper
As far
versions.
as
Yeah,
we
we haven't really
understand.
seen
Okay, so
what
yeah,
the alchemy import's going to be. Yep.
so the alchemy mechanics, like with the tempting, kind of like with initiative and specialized. Like specialized wasn't in paper, so there could
Hmm.
be variations of some mechanics that we're seeing where when you play it digitally, it obviously just can't really be this, like maybe paper cannot replicate the digital mechanic,
Yeah.
such as like
Exactly.
seek and specialize. So maybe there's going to be some special things for arena when this comes out that we just haven't seen or heard or had announced yet.
Okay. Okay.
We got one more, and it is the end all be all. You still there?
Oh, we're back.
Okay, there we go.
Hello.
Nice.
Oh yeah, sorry, my
I
internet dropped
can
for a
hear you.
second there.
All
Okay,
right,
good.
no worries.
Okay, technical issue fixed. All right, One Ring. There it is, guys. 4 mana, One Ring, legendary artifact, indestructible as it were. Oddly enough, can still be exiled. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah. So I'm making sure that we have our settings good here. Okay. Can still be exiled, which is okay, sure. Whenever the One Ring enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until the end of your next turn. Very interesting there. Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna do something like flash it in and out. That
Mhm.
might be something cool. At the beginning of upkeep on your turn, you lose 1 life for each bird encounter on the One Ring. Put a bird encounter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each bird encounter. So it gives you more cards the higher you've pulled from it, basically.
Mhm. I could see this being another
Um,
like handoff thing, kind of like demonic pact. Whenever it has like a ton of burden counters
yeah,
on it, you just pass it off to your
you
opponent,
you could
and then they
force
die.
it. You could force it on
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah,
It also could be that type of thing where we don't know what the ring tempts you does. If the ring
yeah.
tempts
Of
you, you
course.
might gain it no matter what. Like
Hmm.
you might automatically gain control of it.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah.
So there could
and
be a
then I
lot of
guess
shenanigans here.
that works with Gandalf too. Gandalf can untap it, and then you can put another burden counter and draw more cards.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. Tap it, put a burden counter on it, draw a card. Untap it, put another burden counter on it, draw 2 cards. Just by casting like a 1 mana instant. So you could, if you have Gandalf and this out for 1 mana, you could actually draw 3 cards.
Yeah. But you're gonna take a lot of burden from it.
Yes. Yeah. That'll give you at least double burden. So
yeah,
that's noteworthy. But yeah, you could beef that thing up and pass it off to an opponent and let them die on their upkeep.
That's true.
That's interesting.
Interesting. We could see. I think also I want to talk about something that a few people were another controversial chatter about the One Ring is this one here. This is a 1 out of 1. This is literally the One Ring. There is going to be 1 print of this card. As you see, it's a 1 out of 1. I don't know how much zoomed in that is. There is a 1 out of 1 printing of the premium version of the One Ring in Quenya, in the Elvish language. People are saying this maybe become the most valuable Magic card, maybe even beating out Black Lotus. It depends what collectors and investors are saying about this, because this says 1 ring to bring them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, which is the actual inscription of the One Ring. It is a 1 out of 1 stamped foil, mythic rare. So there is literally 1 ring out there. Yeah, so we'll have to see for you investors out there, for you paper investors out there. This, whoever gets this, yikes! I don't know if this is going to be a reward, if this is just going to be randomly placed in a pack. That's a lot of cash money right there. That's a lot of cash money.
I got the golden ticket. That's the golden ticket.
Honestly,
right there.
An investor might buy booster boxes of these and put them in his closet, and we may never see it.
That's true. It may not actually go opened.
Yeah, it may never get opened. Very, very interesting thing here. Kind of a unique thing. Is it a bit of a cash grab? Yeah, it's not legal. Because it doesn't have it doesn't actually have rules text on it. It has the inscription of the ring.
Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything.
No, it doesn't have any flavor. It only has flavor. It only has flavor text.
Other than induce greed, it doesn't do anything.
Basically, yeah. So, interesting thing. People are saying might be the most expensive one ever printed. We'll see if it outdoes. If anyone, 1, even finds it, or 2, if they do find it, how much it'll actually sell for. Because there are people out there with more money than sense. So we'll have to wait and see. So that's the interesting thing about the One Ring there. That's a unique build. It's a unique card.
I wanted to give one more piece of info. I think we might have overlooked it when we were doing the cards.
Sure.
All of those reprints are actually commander only.
Oh.
And then Radagast and the first Sam, those are commander only. They have that kind of commander symbol there. And then the other ones that have the wider with the symbol with the ring, those are going to be the first comment. If you scroll down, it has the legality.
Yeah.
So the ones with the ones you were talking about, with the ones that have the ring symbol on it, they can be modern, legacy, vintage, and commander. But the commander ones can only be legacy, vintage, and commander. So basically they're just not playable. The ones that have the modern but then again, they're reprints anyway, so I guess the card that you could play for it in modern is already out.
It's already out.
But what they're doing is they're almost like gatekeeping in a way, and saying, hey, you can't buy this reprint that's probably going to end up being cheaper than the card that you want to get for modern. You know what I mean? You have to so that's kind of funny. I think they're gonna make you buy probably the more expensive print of it, unless these end up being more expensive. I don't know if that happens, but due to their limited legality, I see them being cheaper.
Probably.
then like your standard
Great henge, I
is
imagine that's probably going to bring down just because it's getting printed again.
Mm-hmm. But you can
It'll
only
probably
do it. You
bring
can
down
only
the
use
price
that one in
overall.
Commander. You can only do it in Commander though. So you'll have to see.
Yeah, still,
because
I mean,
it's played heavily in competitive formats. That's why.
Yeah.
Same with like Wasteland. So I think that might be why, and that's a way for them to kind of make sure that those still are in circulation, because otherwise I think everybody would just start buying these, and they don't want to detract the value from. Like, I think if you detracted the value from Wasteland, I don't know what a Wasteland costs right now, but I think some of them are pretty expensive. If you detract the value from that by reprinting it, people would flip out. People would lose their shit over that. I don't know. I mean, I can look it up how much a Wasteland is worth. I imagine they're expensive though.
Wasteland? I don't know.
They are.
Let me see.
$20.
Okay.
Some of the but like the OG Wasteland is like $217. But there are reprints that are as low as $20. The OG promo Wasteland was going for $219 right now.
Yeah, Great Henge is $50 easy.
Yeah, Great Henge is a very expensive card. Yeah. So there's that, and I think that they don't want to. They have all these people who get into Pioneer and Modern, and they bought 4 Great Henges or however many. They drop $200 on that. You drop this Party Tree, so they come out as maybe like a $20 card. People are gonna be mad. So, not as mad as when they banned Meat Hook though.
Oh, I miss Meat Hook.
So there's that.
I miss Meat Hook.
I guess they don't.
Meat Hook
they don't
would be
care
cleaning up with mites right now.
Oh yeah, Meat Hook. Well, yeah, Standard wouldn't be able to be. I will say at this point in time, Standard wouldn't be as diverse or fun if Meat Hook was still a thing.
No,
I'm not
it would
gonna
be.
Lie.
The black dominance would be ridiculous. The amount that black would absolutely just have a stranglehold on.
Or it's almost like you wouldn't give us like cards like Shoulder if you let us keep Meat Hook.
Yeah,
shit
it's
like
just
that.
so powerful.
I think at some point we have to accept that there's got to be give and take for us to get good new cards that we're looking for to keep things interesting for us.
I wish they'd introduce the restricted list where if cards were restricted, you could only put one of them in there.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be interesting.
That used to be a thing.
Like maybe some kind of new format with that or something like that.
Yeah, basically, if they weren't banned, they were restricted, so you could put one in your deck.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a fun way of doing things. It's a fun, interesting way of doing things. So that's Lord of the Rings. A bit underwhelmed, a bit controversial. What do you guys think? I'm probably going to be playing it. I'm sure some of the cards are going to get involved in Alchemy. We're all Alchemy fans here, and we love to play Alchemy. We love to force people to play Alchemy. That's just our take on it. I don't know. We kind of have to wait and see. We jumped on this real early because we kind of wanted to get it out. We kind of wanted to really look at it and see about it and embrace it and really kind of get the first impressions. Because it's coming. It's gonna enter the game whether we want it or not. That's the nature of it. They give us the cards, we got to play them. So,
and even if we don't play them, we have to be ready for someone else to play them against us.
Exactly. Even if you don't like them, someone's gonna.
It's coming.
Someone does. Exactly. It's same reason that I know blue cards, even though I don't like playing blue. I gotta be aware.
I read blue cards sometimes.
Yeah. I try not to listen. I try to play this game without reading as few cards as possible. I just like the pictures on them. I choose the ones with the nicest pictures, and then I put them down, and then I turn them sideways, and that's.
Sounds great.
That's the game. That's the name of the game there.
I guess let us know what you guys think about these. Like, do you think that we missed?
Let us what you think.
Is it powerful, and do we just mess up, or is it just not good? Let us know.
Yeah. What is your first impression so far? Absolutely. So that's all we got for you today, guys. Next time we'll be back with something more. Maybe we'll have March of the Machines March of the Machines only about a month out.
I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we're going to see some more spoilers. So
yeah. So
the never-ending spoiler season should continue soon.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So we'll be there. The Black Council will be on it, but we're going to call this meeting of the Black Council to a close for right now. A little bit of Lord of the Rings preview. I out myself as a Lord of the Rings nerd, which is lots of fun for everyone. I mean, I already
Nothing
ran
wrong
a
with that.
Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, so if you didn't know I was a nerd yet, I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
to tell you there, man.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for you guys. I've been Jay Villain. You've been great. As always, our Twitch is right down there. Twitch.tv/thatvillainj, Twitch.tv/num_skull_. Join the council. Check it out. And yeah, that's all we got for you.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.